Financials. Financial modules comprises of basically three modules: vendor management, customer management, and general ledger. Vendor management includes TDS module also. Let's first see vendor management. It manages following functionality. Vendor management. This module manages details of vendor. All details of vendors are entered here in vendor management module. It manages details of all transactions done related to vendor, supplier. All kind of expense related entries are also managed by this module. It also manages all kind of payments, credit note, debit note done to vendor. Details can be seen through vendor inquiry, vendor ledger and vendor aging. If vendor is TDS applicable, then TDS deduction is taken care at the time of creating invoice or doing payment. In order to handle above functionalities, we can have few masters, transactions and reports. Masters. Vendor group. Vendor group screen is used to create group of vendors. Suppose we have many vendors having common features like same payment terms, bank, tax, etc. Then we create a group of vendors and map that group with main vendor. Account set is basically mapped to generate automatic GL entry while creating expenses, payments, etc. This screen is used to create vendor group and map its payment term code, tax, bank, etc. Payment terms. We have masters to create payment terms of all vendors. Based on the payment terms, due date for payment of any document is calculated. User enters code description and number of days. Vendor master. Now, vendor master. This is the most critical master used in vendor management module. All kinds of vendors are defined here. User enters code, name, address and other details like bank details, tax details, payment terms, mode, etc. If payment to the user is to be done through RTGS, NEFT, then its bank detail along with account number and IFSC code is also mentioned. We have given option to create vendors with parent-child relationship. In this feature, invoices created for child vendor can be paid to parent vendor also. Now, let's look at the various transactions used in vendor management module. Transaction. As we can see, there are very few transactions in vendor management. Let's see the first one, that is AP invoice entry. AP invoice entry. This screen is basically used to book expense of company. Any kind of credit note or debit can also be created by this screen. All kind of purchase done by vendors are automatically reflected here. Financial part of purchase gets reflected here in AP invoice screen. User selects vendor, selects document type as invoice, enters vendor invoice number and its date. In grid, user will select GL account related to expense, enter amount and select any tax group applicable. If vendor is TDS enable, then TDS gets automatically deducted. With View TDS button, user can view TDS applied values. Saving data creates expense related to selected vendor. In similar way, we can create credit note, debit note. While creating credit, debit note, there is option to select reference document number. Once invoices are created, we can do payments to vendor against those invoices. For that, we have another screen name, Payment Entry Screen. Payment Entry Screen. Payment entry. Any payment against invoice is given is entered in this screen. Apart from normal payment option of payment like advance, on account, refund, MISC, miscellaneous payment, etc. can also be done through this screen. Here, user will select payment type as payment, select vendor and click on arrow button. All pending invoices gets displayed in grid. User can enter amount to be paid. Along with normal payment, user can do advance and on account payment also by selecting payment type as advance on account. If vendor is applicable for TDS, then it gets deducted from amount while doing payment. Check printing. This screen is used to print multiple checks at a time which are selected. Payment adjustment. This screen is used to make adjustment against vendor invoice. Sometimes we do not need to pay the vendor but instead adjust the amount of invoice. Then this screen is used. Here, user will select vendor and its pending invoices. In grid, he will select GL account and enter amount. Saving data will adjust the amount of invoice. There are few reports by which we can easily see outstanding of vendors. Report. This is the most important report of vendor management. Vendor ledger. This screen generates vendor ledger report with multiple selection option. User can easily see credit or debit balance of vendor along with its opening. Both detailed as well as consolidated version are available. Vendor aging. This screen generates aging report summary, detail, FIFO, vendor group wise, etc. This report along with outstanding amount shows the aging also based on due date, invoice date. TDS module. This module takes care of following functionality. Number 1. Creation of TDS sections and its slabs. Number 2. Mapping of TDS with vendors. Number 3. TDS ledger. Master. TDS sections. This screen is used to create TDS sections. Nature of deduction. This screen is used to create nature of deduction for TDS. Reports. TDS ledger. This report shows TDS deduction section, rate, value, etc. After vendor management, let's see customer management. Customer management. As name suggests, this module takes care of customer creation. It manages details of all transactions related to customer. It can manage all kind of direct income related entries. It takes care of all kinds of payments, credit note, debit note to customer. Payments can be received from customer or can be adjusted against any pending document. It manages all kinds of payments received from customer. Details can be seen through customer inquiry, customer ledger and customer aging. In order to handle above functionalities, we have following masters, transactions and reports. Master. Customer group. Customer group screen is used to create group of customer. Suppose we have many customer having common features like same payment terms, bank, tax, etc. Then we create a group of customer and map that group with main customer. Account set is basically mapped to generate automatic GL entry while creating invoices, receipts, etc. This group is mapped to customer. Payment terms. We have masters to create payment terms of all customers. Based on the payment terms, due date of receipt of any document is calculated. User enters code description and number of days. Customer master. Now, customer master. This is the most critical master used in customer management module. All kinds of customers are defined here. We have given option to create customers with parent-child relationship. In this feature, invoices created for child customer can be received from parent customer also. This concept is mainly used for bill to and ship to functionality. This screen is used to create customer. User can fill its detail and map customer with customer group, etc. After defining masters, let's focus on various transactions. Transaction. AR invoice entry. This screen is basically used to book any sort of invoice. Any kind of credit note or debit can also be credited by this screen. All kind of sale done to customers are automatically reflected here. Financial part of sales get reflected here in AR invoice screen. Here, User selects customer, selects document type as invoice. In grid, user will select GL account, enter amount and select any tax group applicable. Saving data creates invoice related to selected customer. In similar way, we can create credit note, debit note. While creating credit debit note, there is option to select reference document number. Once invoices are created, we can receive payments from customers against those invoices. For that, we have another screen named Receipt Entry screen. Receipt Entry, Quick Book Entry. This screen is used to enter amount received from customers against invoice, advance, on account, payment, etc. Any payment received against invoice is entered in this screen. Apart from normal receipt, options of receipt like advance, on account, refund, miscellaneous receipt, etc. can also be done through this screen. Here, user will select transaction type as receipt, select customer and click on arrow button. All pending invoices get displayed in grid. User can enter amount to be received. Along with normal receipt, user can do advance and on account receipt also by selecting transaction type as advance, on account. In case we need to refund any money to customer, then that option is also available. In that order to handle that, user will select refund option. Receipt adjustment. This screen is used to create adjustment against invoices of customers. Sometimes we do not need to receive from the customer, but instead adjust the amount of invoice. Then this screen is used. Here, user will select customer and its pending invoice. In grid, he will select GL account and enter amount. Saving data will adjust the balance amount of invoice which is to be received. We have few very important reports in this module. Report. Customer ledger. This report shows customer ledger with multiple selection options like location-wise, customer group-wise, customer-wise, customer type-wise, etc. In summary and detail, user can easily see credit or debit balance of customer along with its opening. Both detail as well as consolidated version is available. Customer aging. This report shows customer aging summary or detail with multiple selection option like location-wise, customer group-wise, customer-wise, etc. This screen generates aging report summary. This report, along with outstanding amount, shows the aging also based on due date, invoice date. General ledger. General ledger module is the base of our ERP. Financial impact of all modules are captured in this module. All cost centers are defined in this module. GL accounts, which are used in whole application for financial entries, are also defined in this module. In order to start application, we need to first define cost centers and GL accounts. All kind of JVs which needs to be passed can be entered here in this module. Apart from direct vouchers, other vouchers of all modules automatically gets created and posted here in this module. Few reports are available in this module like general ledger, trial balance and balance sheet. In order to handle above functionalities, below are few masters, transactions and reports. Masters. As we can see, we have various masters in general ledger module. We'll explain few important masters one by one. GL option. User can define various cost centers of the company. User can define maximum of 10 cost centers. He will enter segment name and length as mandatory. Once segments are defined, user has to mention values of all segments. As we can see, there is field as account segment. The segment number defined under this field will not be used to define values, but will be used as main GL account and will be defined while creating GL account. Segment code master. User can define values for various segments using this screen. User will select segment name in its values in grid. Once segment values are defined, we need to define the structure of GL account. Account structure is defined to maintain consistency in GL account. Account structure master. This screen is used to create structure of account which will be used in any ERP. Here we can see all segments defined in left panel. User can click on Include button to include segments in a sequence he requires to create GL account structure. User has option to exclude it also by clicking on Exclude. Based on account structure, account needs to be created. Once structure is defined, user can create GL account in system. For creating GL account, we need to go through 4 steps. Account main group, account group, account subgroup, that is also called roll-up account, and GL main account. Once all above is created, we can create GL account with segments as per account structure. Let's see how all above masters are created. Account subgroup, roll-up. As far as GL account is concerned, this is the first step. We first create roll-up account. Roll-up account is basically GL account which carries other GL account under it, having same series. For example, if roll-up account is 111010000, then the account which is rolled up under it will be like 111010001, 111010002, 111010003, and so on. This screen is used to create subgroup account, roll-up account. Once subgroup is created, user can create GL main account. GL main account. GL main account is the account which is GL account created at second level. This GL account is further used to create GL account with segments. User will just enter code description and map with subgroup that is rolled up account. This screen can be used to create GL main account. General ledger account. Finally, this screen can be used to create GL account with segments and actual transactions are done using these GL accounts. Here, user will select account structure, main account, and all value of the segment which is used in structure. Segment value is selected in Segment tab. While defining GL account, we map it with sale or purchase in case it is specific to any module. If GL account is related to any tax, then we can map its tax type also. If GL account is control account type, then that has to be checked. Once marked as control account, then it cannot be used in any transaction directly. It can be mapped and used in auto-created transactions. In order to create GL account in bulk, we have another screen with name Create GL account. This screen creates multiple GL account in one go. Now, let's see some transactions related to General Ledger module. Transactions. Journal entry. This is one of the most important transaction screen of General Ledger. All kind of vouchers can be entered here. This screen is basically used to create contra entries. In grid, user selects GL account and enter credit amount. In next line of grid, user selects another GL account and enters debit amount. Total of debit amount should always be total of credit amount. This screen is used to enter voucher related to accounts department. Any kind of adjustment of voucher is done through this screen. This screen also shows general entry automatically generated by system from various modules. VCGL entry. This screen is basically used to do any adjustments between customers, vendors, and customer-vendor. This screen is used to create contra entry between vendor-customer. If user has to do adjustment between customers only, then user can select adjustment type as customer in header and type as customer in grid. Enter debit amount or credit amount. If user enters credit amount in grid, then customer select in grid will be credited and customer selected in header will be debited. Similar operation can be done for vendors or customer, vendor or vendor customer. This ends transactions of general ledger module. Now let's have a look on the reports of general ledger module. Reports. Cost center analysis. This report shows cost center wise report. GL transaction. Journal voucher. This screen shows journal voucher wise report. This screen shows trial balance. Journal book. This report shows journal voucher summary and detail. Profit and loss. This screen is used to generate profit and loss report. Balance sheet. This screen is used to generate balance sheet report.